First we invented the wheel, then fire, electricity gave us light. Now AI, because thinking is hard. Emails, AI's got it. Math, too brutal, let the robot suffer. Breakup text, copy-paste from ChatGPT. Original ideas? Please, humans haven't had those since TikTok was invented. Without AI, people had to write their own tweets. Without AI, students open books. Without AI, companies would hire actual interns. Without AI, journalists are fact-checked. Hello, this is Raghav's Take, and what you just heard was my AI voice, my AI clone. May I continue with my stream of consciousness musings about a post-AI world? You know, I began with a question, what the beep is AI? Here, I ask, how the beep will AI change the world? Again, I am anonymizing the 4-letter swear word with but you get its full fury, right? Let me reiterate what I said in the earlier video, part 1 video. I do not understand AI. I am not a techie, and my mind is simply unable to grasp how computers can read billions of word patterns in nanoseconds, to write comprehensive reports, to play better chess, to solve complex mathematical theorems better and faster than intelligent human beings. But I am a diehard fan of what AI does. So I don't know the how, yet I just love the what. And that's why I am trying to understand how AI will reconfigure human lives. I only have probing questions. I have an amorphous sense of the answers, but that's not critical. The questions themselves, they themselves are so fascinating that even without specific answers, they create what I call an infatuating stream of consciousness. So here's the first question. As AI and other technologies proliferate, the capital-labor ratio, it could invert from what it was through the 20th century. In the 21st, capital could account for 60 to 70% of income, while labor could struggle to retain 30% of output. I've explained this inversion in part 1 of the video. What's the likely impact of this tectonic shift? An obvious and massive shift in wealth will occur. People who own capital will become infinitely richer compared to those who work for them. The tip of this iceberg is already visible, with the frenetic valuations and cash hoards of what are called the Magnificent Seven tech giants. That's Alphabet, Google, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, and of course Musk, Tesla, and X.AI and SpaceX. The founders and key employees of these companies are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. As the what's called the network effect accelerates, it's conceivable that a dozen or so tech gurus could become, hold your breath, trillionaires. But that's just what I call the sexy. It's the folklore tip, or the peak of the phenomenon. What's happening in the submerged part of the iceberg is even more frightening, because 1 million techies who have the rarefied knowledge required to harness AI and other digital tools are rapidly accumulating hundreds of millions of dollars of wealth. These are the superstar techies leading or creating superstar firms. They will retain and reward an ever-shrinking pool of employees who can retrain and rearm themselves with new skills. Everybody else will get demoted, forced to eke out a living doing lesser jobs in the physical world. So what happens if the world's demography becomes somewhat like this? There are 10 trillionaires, there are 10,000 billionaires, there are 10 million millionaires, there are 100 million half millionaires, and then there are 7.8 billion people who are struggling to grow crops, keep tables, become golf caddies, or actually just hang around aimlessly without much work. Now it's a dystopian thought, but a plausible one, and that's ouch. I come to the second question. What are the consequences of such a dystopianly polarized world? If income inequalities become so extreme, won't we get caught in an underconsumption trap? Won't inequity and worklessness create uncontrollable social and political chaos? Is there an antidote for this dystopian malaise? Clearly, it's an existential challenge for human civilization. If incomes fall to subsistence levels for several billion people, then an economic collapse is actually inevitable. Dark factories, as we've shown in the first video, may produce one smartphone every second, but if billions of buyers have no money, those production lines will come to a grinding halt. A few million millionaires, they can only support a hyper narrow consumption economy, right? I mean, after all, how much caviar, how many gallons of pink champagne, how many yachts, Lamborghinis, Rolexes, and gold-plated golf sets can they buy? So new and urgent solutions must be designed. An overhaul of the tax regimen is most critical. We need to shift the tax base from labor to capital. We need to slap big wealth taxes, robot taxes, followed ultimately by a universal significant, not basic, significant income for people who don't own capital. Finally, these taxes need to underwrite a major reskilling of the workforce, to make them productive in a post-AI economy. Here's my third question. While a universal significant income, not basic, significant income, may ensure people's survival, it's still a soul-crushing dole. Will worklessness create social disorder? Or, in an optimistic construct, will it free people up to pursue non-economic vocations like painting, surfing, becoming better golfers, taking up a passion for acting and performing arts? Could this lead to a burst of creative and leisure pursuits, displacing a workless dystopia? Nearly 300 years since the Industrial Revolution, a formal job has become, the linchpin of our social compact and identity. We are actually what we do. So worklessness destroys a person's dignity and self-worth. And a hopeless person is also dangerously prone to violence. It's a powder keg that must be diffused. While a Few people may have the grit and talent, to become Renaissance artists, i.e., those who will unshackle from the drudgery of a 9 to 5 routine and flourish, with hobbies. The sobering reality is that the majority will want meaningful work. So, redistributive taxes and reskilling programs will become the toolkits of social and political survival. My fourth question: what will be the geopolitics of a post-AI world? It could be brutal. In the commercial world, AI could create, techno oligarchies, that is, corporations who have a monopoly control over AI infrastructure, like chips, like data, and like proprietary models, and they are more powerful, they will become more powerful than most countries. And in the political world, their spitting image will be AI superpowers. That's governments which actually control these techno oligarchies. America and China top that game. India and EU could be in the running, but they need to invest much more than they have currently done. Many thinkers fear a new kind of digital colonialism, where AI haves dominate and they exploit the AI have-nots. I come now to my fifth question. Has the all-conquering advent of AI revived the value of physical assets? Could be an unexpected and unintended consequence. Through the 20th century, as digital assets replaced physical ones, and the digital assets occupied more of human time, their value increased exponentially while physical assets stagnated. Now, since AI cannot recreate the sheer joy and thrill of physical spaces and activities, for example, at golf courses, at leisure spas, at gourmet restaurants, the value of these assets could be resurrecting. The answer is yes. Yes, especially if there are unique experiential forays that can be created. So I think now I'll end with a postscript. I have no clue whether any of these stream of consciousness musings will ever come true. All I know is that the post-AI world will be astonishingly different from the one we have grown up in. It's an existential thrill to ask these probing questions about how it could play out. And that's what we've done in Raghav's Take today.